Hello friends, my name is Old Man Cloud, you know the drill, and I'm not talking about the pig item. Let's jump into another Bazaar run. The aim of this run is loosely to try to force electric eels to counter the Dually Bug Menace, the Bethesda Dually Menace. If we can't get that off the ground, we'll just see what comes our way. None of these are great, but Obsidian Grenade is a very, very strong early game item if you can get it upgraded and or reloading.
Hi, I'm Quixel.
It doesn't scale well into the end game, but it is what it is.
Bye.
It'll certainly make our AI fight very quick, which is nice. So let's just take the narwhal and not spend on the re-roll. Try to conserve a bit of money. Let's try for the Langjon. The early grenade does a number on max. A crit kills them in one, unless they found a way to buff their health.
See that plank?
Super aggression from Vanessa still seems to be the way to go in the very early game, given the number of squishy max that you're coming up against.
Go make some more stories, then come back and tell me.
And in the Vanessa mirror, it just seems to be whichever character is more aggro wins. We have a friend so we can gain our 1 XP, so that should be sorted for us getting to level 3 on day 2, which is an important breakpoint to keep in mind as an aggro Vanessa build. You care a lot about early XP and especially about expanding your board to level 3 by the time you're on the day 2 fight. We're more aggro so we win. It's as simple as that. Crit one time. Still think we win? Maybe that was too confident. Should be fine, right? Right? Yeah, we're fine. Definitely want to get Obsidian Grenade upgraded and reloading for the early game.
My boy.
We like a weapon skill, seeing as it works with what we're doing and helps out with the eels, if that's the direction we end up in.
There are greater trainers
We'll put you on grenade, I think, even though it's just one swing, to get the double value. That's a pretty damaging early item. And let's get Bolus and Shaw Stinger out here. You're not interesting to us. Try to conserve our money to some extent. There's B1, B2, you love to see it. So we'll upgrade. Can make a case for Shark Claws, that's how we win longer fights, but I think, look at how much this damage is going to go up. 240 now, including 480 on the crit. I think this is just such a bomb early on that it's worth the upgrade here. It can just insta-win us some fights with a crit. In fact, it insta-wins us a lot of fights with a crit, which is a 25% chance, which is not bad. And even where it doesn't crit, it just makes the rest of our job so much easier. Yep. So that means we're getting to level 3 today, which means we're expanding our board. I'd like something better than Shovel to put out. This is the advantage of playing Vanessa at the moment, is you can relatively easily get these early wins, and as long as you do that, you shouldn't be losing ranks. Try to get another fight while we're strong. That's a good one. So our nuke's gonna finish the job here. That is a strong early game item. If we get a way to reload it, it can certainly play in the mid game.
Maybe a skirmish.
Could play a 1 weapon grenade build.
Tide that tide.
Let's take a look at a weapon to fill out our board, hopefully. Better than nothing, kind of, just, it's awful. It's a pretty scuffed board, but doesn't matter as long as we've got the weapon over here.
A few warriors live to retire.
Katana's a lot better than what we're doing here.
And you might.
You're gone. You're gone.
Hey,
Welcome to the team. We can consider... You make our nuke a little less effective, but give us a lot more sustain. I think that's better. Sure, we'll upgrade Narwhal. Would be nice to get our Shovel to silver as well, so we'll do that. Alright, that was a good shot for us. So playing kind of a medium build. The super greedy idea is to put the bomb on the right. but especially against a pig, I think having the constant benefit from katana will outweigh that. Pig's the worst matchup for us, but it's a very low health pig, so with our nuke, this should be fine. Boom. That's such a dramatic, beautifully dramatic kill or attack animation there on the grenade. Love to see a powder flask. And still love to see eels for our long-awaited pivot into eels. Boots are just bladed, shoes are just useless. Let's see if we can get something to save us a bit of money. I mean, we could sell our smalls, but no. Yeah, I mean, we can't really afford to keep re-rolling. This is not a bad option. Although I don't think I want anything here. But I will re-roll with the possibility of selling shovel if we see something great. Trebuchet, I think, fits with the build quite nicely. We would put you on instead of probably Piranha, or probably Bolus actually. But no matter what, we have to sell shovel. So let's sell it and grab it.
Enjoy the thrill of battle.
And then when our board expands, we'll get Trebuchet out there. It's not a great item, but it's decent in what we're doing here. We'd love to get our econ sorted, but we're certainly taking advantage by being able to fight the hardest AI in every day, which is nice. Get the... I hadn't heard that. Just that desperate scream with the grenade was so perfect. Not really what we want.
Now this is how you win a war.
Create a bronze tier item. You'll go... We'd like you to go here, please. I think this is the build. Trebuchet upgrades pretty well, but it has to be shark claws, I would say. I think scaling our board, and especially our katana, is more important. Let's just take a free item while our econ is struggling. Bolus. I think we still don't play it. And let's take the money. Tossing up between the money and the chocolate, but I think I've got to really want to get the econ sorted. Vanessa level 3, which gives us a really big advantage. I'd be surprised if we lost this. We've got a chance to just insta-win pretty much on the back of a crit with our grenade. They're playing Obsidian Ambergris, so that's a cool scaling build, but I don't think it'll do the job against us. We're a relatively nasty early build. Just the more aggro you can go as Vanessa at the moment, the more aggro you should go, but you should bear in mind that it has an expiry date and is likely only to get you to 7 wins, or keep in mind a pivot. Cannonade is better than Trebuchet by some margin. Cannonade can actually kind of run to the end game potentially. Temptation to put you on the right, but I think for the time being, let's stick to Katana on the right. Just take a free item here to sell. And let's go after the prince. I think we should be okay. I'm really not 100% sure about this. But I want the electric eels desperately. So let's try. We'd like a crit. Don't get it. I didn't say one time. That's my mistake. But we're still okay.
By fin and guild,
I would like your eels, please. One time. And hover. No. I'll take it though. Chances we can work that in.
Blades to the wind.
Some good stuff here. May well end up only playing 5 items, but Honed Arsenal for the time being is really nice. and we're trying to win quickly. Small items, nothing we're super looking for. Grenade upgrade, I suppose, and powder horn actually, or powder flask, whatever it's called. Nothing of you, and nothing of you. Just a miss.
You want cheap junk? Go see Curio.
And let's have a look at skills.
This world is full of noise.
I think it's worth spending 5 for improved crit chance across the board.
Training is not complete.
And up against Vanessa, we have the level advantage, and I think we're pretty aggro, so I like our chances here. If we're sticking with aggro Vanessa, we want to be upgrading Cannonade. The damage boost is huge. And finding a way to get our grenade reloading.
Bring her about. I've got another cell.
Or maybe even just upgrading the grenade would not be bad. Would be a big boost to it. And then maybe you don't need it reloading, seeing as it's killing one hit so often. Doesn't have amazing synergy with Cannonade, but they're both just too good not to be running at the moment. And we'll take a fight, seeing as I like our chances up against pretty much anyone, even over the weapons vendor there. This is testing my theory. This is a pretty advanced AI for us to be fighting at this point, but with that crit we'll be extra fine. Pretty nasty aggro Vanessa build here, especially with Rush. And especially with the XP advantage that we're building up with these fights. That's a great get. You'll love to see that. That solves a lot of our problems. I think 2 ammo on the grenade should be enough. So now we really want the grenade upgrade, as well as the Cannonade upgrade.
And sometimes I sell stuff.
And wouldn't say no to Shark Claw upgrade either. We got one of them.
Do you have to leave already?
300 damage now, 600 if it crits, which it's nearly a 50% chance to do. It's just a nuke in the early game. And we take Scoville, surely. Surely we take Scoville. It's so annoying, but with our nuke combined with the other damage we've got going, I'd really love to continue to press our XP advantage. The crit nuke makes extra sure of it if it wasn't already. We're nasty. Nasty. Still keeping an eye out for eels. Which means also keeping an eye out for Crow's Nest. We'll take that. Wonder how eels could work with Cannonade. Upgrade silver or lower. We'll be upgrading our Cannonade. The damage boost there is huge, even though the upgrade Shark Claws would have also been really nice. There's the eels. Okay. There's also Figurehead, which goes nicely with our current build. Bit all over the place. Let's take both of them, I think. And let's look at putting Figurehead like this. I think that's better, even though Cannonade goes off less often. It's still not bad with how fast Katana's going. And the buff of damage across the board is too good not to do, I think. So you're gone and you're gone. And now eels, we want to get to gold before we look at playing, I think. They really do need to be gold. And let's just make some coin, I think. And we need a bit of support for the eels, most likely in the form of Crow's Nest. But we're certainly not far away from considering these eels on the board. For the time being, I think what we've got is working fine. We'll find out here, I suppose, against a Mac. Maybe with the Figurehead it's a bit too slow. Lifesteal Mac. The haste on the Katana gets us off the ground pretty quickly, and then we hit with the nuke. Yeah, that didn't feel like a fair fight, to be honest. Maybe we try to rush through to a perfect win with our grenade here. It's holding its own in the middle game as well. Upgrade to skills can be great. 8% bonus crit across the board, I think, is worth it. And then seeing as we barely have any money, I'll just take a freebie. Not what we're looking for. I imagine we can take our friend the Loan Shark.
Paying it back is tomorrow.
Crit chance on the grenade is certainly nice. Yeah, I mean the Cannonade is still going quite fast, even with really just the 3 other weapons working with it. Kind of wish we picked up artillery spotter now. Yeah, that's a great get, seeing as Shark Claws is aquatic. And weapon skills. The more everything is happening is pushing us towards a weapons build here. Not slowing, although you're great for eels. Oh, I mean, you're decent for eels. We tend to have a health advantage with our XP advantage, so I think we reroll here. None of these are great either, but we'll take increased haste on the back of Shark Claws, even though it's unlikely to go 10 times. And I'll take a free small tool. That's a good one. We'll hold on to that because it goes relatively well with eels. And we're getting a bit of luck with the fights that we're getting. Or with the fact that we're getting additional fights. We block your Crashing Waves skill now. We'd love to see the Shark Claws. Don't think you can run 2 Shark Claws. It's a little too greedy. Maybe? But anyway, we don't get it. And anyway, it would have been an upgrade. So we'll take the econ though. And I think we match up very well against Vanessa, especially at level 6. We've just gotten ahead of the curve, which is how you get your weapons build over the line is a bit of luck and going. You pretty much have to go perfect almost to go 10. Maybe you have 1 loss in you, but not much more than that. We look like a stronger spam build than this, and we have an enormous health advantage. They're using Crow's Nest there just for 20% crit chance, which seems like a pretty poor use of a large item, but who am I to question that build? Weapons vendor can help. Nothing there. Nothing there, I don't think. The real test will be if we get an upgrade, whether we stick it on Cannonade or try to get our commit to the eels pivot. Well, it probably doesn't count as a pivot if we're right near the end. Maybe it still does. I think I'm going to take loot here. That's a good get, and it has to go on Cannonade. Oh, it doesn't have to go on Cannonade. I think it does though. Didn't need to do that, but anyway. Now we do play some mediums, namely Shark Claws would be the good upgrade. You play decently well with eels, but probably not. And it's looking increasingly unlikely eels will be making it to the board. That's a nice upgrade, especially with that upgrade now. We just go pure aggro, I think. The world's angriest Vanessa. Pretty sure we can take the Corsair.
At least you're no cloud top slime.
We have no defense, and what does Spyglass hit? Shark Claws. I still think better that than Katana. Hoping we should be okay here, because the grenade didn't get the crit, which I would have loved. Maybe we won't be okay. We've scaled a lot, but they're slowing a lot. It's going to be super tight. I may have gone too big for my britches here. One time, win something, do something. Ah, so close. That really hurts. We could have got to level 10 today with that win. That really hurts. I think if the slow hits the grenade, we probably win. Anyway, no point getting caught up in it. I think we go gumballs to try to press our kind of aggro advantage here. Red and blue gumballs help quite a bit. They're also buffing the eel in the event we make that pivot at long last. Don't have anything bronze to upgrade. Let's have a look here. Don't think I can afford a reroll.
Acorns.
Let's try. We can always sell out of something. Swashbuckle is interesting. Don't think we can run it with our current build. It's too greedy. You have to run it instead of Figurehead, at which point... I think you have to run instead of Figurehead? Can you run instead of Shark Claws, maybe? Run instead of Shark Claws, buff the Katana and the Cannonade. Katana charges Cannonade whilst hitting quite hard. Yeah, maybe that's the play. Cannonade doesn't charge quite as fast, but will hit harder. I quite like this play. In which case we're selling out of Shark Claws and Dive Weights. The eels are on shaky ground. I wonder if he actually put you on the nuke, put you on the grenade. increase its damage massively and increase its chance of critting. I quite like this now. This is extremely aggro, extremely aggro Vanessa. Doesn't get much more aggressive than this, which I think puts us in a pretty good spot. It's a bit less spammy and Cannonade is a bit less effective than it could be, but I think the Swashbuckler is a really nice get, and it scales really well with both an upgrade and an enchantment. Boom! And we're in the market for a perfect win here, basically. I don't think anything else will really cut it. I think it has to be it's perfect or we stall out, I think most likely. And I think it's very unlikely that eels make the cut, so we can sell to afford a 10 skill, or just pick up Rush, which seems like a huge upgrade for just 5. And I think health includes Buckle, but we wouldn't be able to afford it anyway. Let's just take a freebie to try to get our econ a little bit sorted. Apologies if you can hear my computer fan in the background there. It appears to be dying for some reason. Normally stops pretty soon. Let's take on... I think we can beat the dragon, but we don't really need to because we're getting to level 10 anyway. Let's just go the Cosmic Rock for the cooldown. Yeah, I mean, it's just a nuke. It's just an absolute nuke, our grenade. It's almost doing the job by itself without anything else needing to do anything. Definitely don't want heal, in which case we go with a random enchant onto our Swashbuckle because it has a 2 out of 3 chance of being amazing. That's one of them. That's now a big buff to both items nearby it. We gotta go sharp. Actually, I possibly could have gone temporary boost then. That was a misplay, I think. And we put you onto our Katana, which is hitting very hard. And we'll take just some free health to try to preserve our money. Board's in a really good place here, especially against a Mac. We really should be able to win this. I mean, the eels just aren't working out. We can't get our eels run together, but maybe one day.
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
But we've landed in the nuke build instead, which has served us very well. It's a nasty looking Mac though. This will be a test. Haste on the Katana early is just massive because oh my goodness, really nasty. The haste hitting the Katana, which is a 1 out of 3, is a huge win for us. Because the haste there just kicks the build into overdrive early on, starts charging the Cannonade early. So let's take some more free health. The only large we're looking for is Cannonade, which is a significant upgrade, but is relatively low chance of getting it. Sorry, not today, eels. Another day, maybe.
Let's take the tyrant's whole kingdom.
Let's take Vanessa skills. Remembering that crit helps us quite a lot here. Not really nice. Not really what we want. Let's reroll. Flurry of Blows is amazing. Has to be Flurry of Blows. Fits exactly with what we're trying to do. Pretty sure we can take on the world here. But the build probably still loses to Bugdooly. Although it's pretty quick with that nuke. It'd be an interesting fight. Might depend on how well Bugdooly's got their build sorted out. Even though they're all kind of much the same. Like skill difference in terms of the skills that they have. But we might find out. Hopefully we don't find out. I'd love to just cruise my way to 10 wins without encountering any more Bugdoolies. Oh, that's the eels. It's taunting me. It's always the way. But at silver at this point, we're not interested in it.
Have you?
Would have tried if we got a gold, but it's too late. Diamond tier items? Sure. It's just, I was absolutely sure that I was going to see electric eels there. It's not worth a reroll for us, and nothing there works. I think we're pretty locked into this hyper aggro Vanessa. We'll take a Mac over a Dooley, I think.
But I've seen my share of storms.
What are you rocking? You went to the Thieves Guild, but got a skill that's of no use to you. And I think we're just too... They've gone kind of weaponsy, but not weaponsy. And oh my goodness, that was a brutal... a brutal victory that was. Did you do anything? Sorry about that, friend. That was, I assume, I wasn't looking, but I assume the haste went on the katana and then flurry of blows charged the katana as well. Nasty, 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 nasty. Turns out aggro Vanessa still very, very strong. We'll be putting some more damage onto our katana. And shows that Cannonade can still be a very, very strong item even when you don't have an ultra spammy build. Look for upgrades here.
But I can help you finish a fight.
Our build is kind of spammy with katana, but we've also got a couple of utility items. We're only playing 2 charging weapons and Cannonade is doing work still. Would love to get an upgrade on our belt. We seem to match up very, very well against this guy. Sometimes the nuke isn't even getting to go off, but there it does. Would we try to make this item work? I don't think so. I think we're all in on winning our next fight. Trying to get a favourable matchup.
We barely got our flags up.
It's just not my style, brother. I mean, I may as well have taken... What a stupid move. I may as well have taken it because diamond doesn't clog up your upgrade pool. But I like the swag of turning down the diamond skill. Let's just think for a second here. Figurehead upgrades everything by 50 damage. Swashbuckle will go to, I think, 100% crit chance. Which will add 50% bonus damage to each of these items. But it's actually not as good, I think. I think it's not quite as good. Because they have pretty much max... Although it helps with the crit chance of the katana. So maybe it is belt. So what does this go to? It ups it by 50 damage, which is what I thought. So yeah, it ups the katana and obsidian by 50 damage, which is the same as what Figurehead would have done. Misses out on Cannonade, but increases the crit chance of katana in particular. So you could probably make a case for either, but I think that was right in the end. And look at this. This is absolutely devastating build. We still may well lose to a freezing bug dolly, but we get off the ground relatively quickly and hit awfully hard. I think we're very likely to win today and get the perfect result. Albeit not quite the one that I was looking for with the Cannonade, but with the eels I should say, but hopefully still an interesting run that demonstrates how strong aggro Vanessa can be. And the strength of Cannonade. It's a pretty strong Mac though. Maybe shouldn't be counting too soon. But on the other hand, on the other hand, yeah, devastating attacks. The obsidian grenade was very useful the whole way through. But in the end, it was really the very strong skills and the katana plus Cannonade combo that won it, with Swashbuckle helping massively with damage as well. And that's a platinum. Sometimes it can be nice and easy. Not that we didn't get quite lucky, but there you go. That's the way the Bazaar happens sometimes. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully one day I get the eels run to work. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.